Okay, I'm Chris Avena with American Outdoor News. I'm here with Jason St. Michael. He's in charge of membership and chapter development at Safari Club International. Jason, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the call.
Now, you got one hell of a job.
It's a big job, that's for sure. Yes. Yeah,
How many,
we look after the membership for the entire organization. And then also we've got chapters around the world, 164 chapters in total. And I have 6 people that are in my chapter field that are, I have a gentleman in Europe, we have one in Africa, one in Canada, and I've got 4 in the United States, or 3 in the United States.
so they're all helping you with managing the chapters and taking care of membership.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And then I have a team of 6 people in San Antonio that really help process memberships and go through the memberships. We've just added a membership development person, so they're both very big key pillars to the organization.
How many members does SCI have?
Currently, we're just around the 50,000 mark.
Wow.
And we're developing to grow. Hopefully, our goal is 75,000 members in the next 3 years.
Okay. Now, how important is the chapter system, and how does that work?
So the chapters are really, in my opinion, the backbone of the organization. As you know, we are a volunteer-led organization, and our volunteers traditionally start off at the chapter level. Our chapters, they'll hold events, fundraising gala events, where they'll raise funds to do the missions of Safari Club, which are, advocacy, education, humanitarian, and conservation. They do these projects in their local communities. They keep 100% of their money, with the exception, or I shouldn't say 100, they keep 70% of the money they raise at their fundraisers, and they submit 30% to the national organization. It's unlike any other organization out there. Most keep all the money, and then the chapters would apply if they wanted to do a project. A little different. They're very, they have a lot of autonomy, and they run it like a little business, and they have the SCI as a national partner. And then, of course, we have our major fundraiser, which we do in Nashville at the convention.
Yeah, that's always a tremendous event, especially since you moved to Nashville. It's really giving you guys a huge boost.
Absolutely. No, you know what? I think we've stopped running it like a club, and we're running it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
And we're forging forward with some really great initiatives. Nashville happened to be one of them, and I know we're geared there for a number of years, and we continue to grow and look at ways we can include more exhibitors and creating more excitement and more interest while we're in Nashville.
Now, what kind of events or causes do the local chapters support?
Sure. Well, interesting enough, they do a lot of the similar stuff that National does, but I can give you some really good examples. Conservation work. Arizona has been doing water well systems. Of course, they're in the desert and stuff, so they build water wells. We have chapters who have helped build schools overseas. We have the National Blue Bag program, which is we give it to our members to take with them on hunts, whether it's South America, North America, overseas, places where they can bring medical supplies, school supplies, stuff that wouldn't be easily mailed or sent.
Uh-huh.
Our hunters can bring it with on their trips. We do education work where we're teaching educators. We teach youth. We do a lot of youth projects. And then, of course, advocacy is a big part of what we do, fighting to protect hunters' rights. Seasons like, bear seasons, wolf delistings, lion, elephant. There's a whole lot of stuff that we're doing on that. Subsistence hunting, access. There is just a ton of stuff that our chapters are doing at the local level, and also coupled with the national level are doing similar projects.
So how many chapters does Safari Club have?
164 chapters worldwide. about 142 in the United States. And
Wow.
then the rest are outliers. We have 15 in Canada, 17 in Europe. Um, I just came back from Qatar, at Doha, Qatar. We just had our first chapter fundraiser in Doha. It's the Middle East chapter, and that's how far we go, if you will.
I actually saw pictures. Jim Shockey was there. Larissa Switlick was there. A whole bunch of people who have hunted all around the world that have always supported SCI's cause
Absolutely.
were in attendance. Some of them won awards.
Yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
yeah, no, it's the camaraderie and the inclusiveness of this organization is really the backbone of it, and I think is what brought me to it. One of the things that I can tell you is, a lot of people hear the name and they think, oh, Safari Club, I'm never going to go on safari to Africa. Well, if you look up the definition of safari, it means to go on an adventure. And I think that the people of Safari Club are adventurers. When I started, I was a deer hunter only, essentially.
Yeah.
And through speaking with members and becoming friends with people, I learned that there is so much more out there that I can do, and it's not hard. It's not expensive. And Safari Club is the reason I've been to Africa a couple times, been to Australia, New Zealand hunting. I've been to England on a hunt. I still am a dedicated diehard deer hunter and moose hunter and bear hunter at home. But, I think that people need to kind of open or broaden their horizons and just look at, can I do this, and is it affordable?
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Sometimes it's more affordable to hunt overseas than it is for an elk hunt or a moose hunt or something along those lines. Well, let's face it, hunting's an expensive sport any way you slice it.
It absolutely is. But even, there's I can tell you, I have a lot of people just in my local area that wouldn't go across the country or to another province to hunt because they think it's too hard. And I think an organization like SCI really can help you with that. We have a great, one of our great benefits is the Hunter Information Services, Barbara Crown, who works for us. This lady is amazing. And if you're a member and you want to jump in, go on a hunt in wherever, number one, you can call her and say, have you heard about this outfitter I've been looking at? I'm sure she has, and she can give you the
Yep,
good and the ugly. Number two, I want to take my rifle. What permits do I need?
that's a
She'll give.
big one.
Number three, I've harvested an animal. How do I get it home? What are the extra costs? How do I tip? Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
This person is a wealth of knowledge. And to me, that is the best benefit that we offer. It's probably the most hidden benefit we offer, but the best benefit. We offer that. We offer we have award-winning publications. We have 6 magazines that come out annually. We have 12 newspapers that we send out. We also have a rewards discount program. Then we have a membership, like a points program or a loyalty program where you collect points for every time you join, you renew, et cetera, et cetera. And you can buy things from, firearms to optics to gift cards to, if you wanted to just grab a hat. We're really trying to make it where if you, Chris, wanted to bring in your friend, hey, bring in a friend. They join for 1 year. You get 100 points. Your friend gets 100 points. And you can easily build up and get yourself some really cool swag,
Sure.
and items. So a lot of benefits to joining, a lot of benefits to belonging. But I think at the end of the day, the biggest reason to become a member of Safari Club International is the simple fact that we're here to protect your rights as hunters or your hunting heritage. And then, the other part of it is for the future of hunting. I mean, our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandchildren,
Sure.
make no bones about it. Hunting is under attack. If you don't think they want to take away your deer hunting or your duck hunting, think again, because they absolutely do. That's going to be their biggest challenge, but they're going to start with the easy stuff, the grizzly bears, the lions, the elephants, the stuff that not everybody participates in. And they have a lot of misconceptions about being endangered, et cetera, et cetera. Here's a little something for the viewers out there. I was just come back from South Africa, and they're begging the government to do culls on elephants because they have too many elephants for the
Yep.
amount of property that they have available for the elephants, and they need to cull the populations.
I
And
actually have a friend going over there soon to do an
okay,
elephant hunt.
okay. Well, and
Same scenario.
right, people think that elephants are endangered,
They're not.
and they are in certain spots, but there's no hunting in those areas.
Yeah.
And, there's some real good success stories where hunters have played a role, got in there and helped and rejuvenated wildlife populations.
How did you get into SCI?
Interestingly enough, I used to work for the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and they closed the office in Canada. And a friend of mine, contacted us and said, would you need to come work for us? We're trying to expand in Canada. And I remember, like it was yesterday, I remember saying, I appreciate the offer. I'm not a safari guy. I'm never going to Africa.
Yep.
He said, you know what? He just kind of what I just said. He said, we're way more than African hunters. We do much more. Why don't you come to our fundraiser, see what it's about, and then from there we can make a decision. And I did. And we got there, and there was a young fella that had cerebral palsy, I think it was, a debilitating disease. And that chapter took him on. His dream was to go on a bear hunt. They took him on a bear hunt out west. They did a lot of veterans programs. They did an elk restoration program in Alberta. They had done a bunch of stuff, and I was like, wow, this group does a lot of great stuff. And I said, maybe I've opened my eyes a little bit, and that's kind of was the start of it. That was 22 years ago,
Wow.
and I haven't looked back since.
Well, I don't understand the resistance to go on an African safari.
Right.
I personally think every hunter should experience Africa at least one time.
You know what? If you do it, I'll warn them because it's addictive. It's such a. Have you done it yourself?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean you can relate. Then it's the sunsets are magnificent. The hunting is magnificent. The amount of game is magnificent. It's super affordable. But you know what? Again, it's not for everybody. I just want to see people get out hunting. I don't care if you're hunting squirrels. I don't care if you're hunting rabbits.
It's funny you mentioned the sunsets. I actually posted some pictures of African sunsets the other day.
How did you?
And when I was there, just witnessing it, I'm like, wow, you get to see this every day.
Yeah,
it's spectacular.
It is spectacular, and hunting is way more than killing. And
Sure.
I think we need to educate people that are non-hunters, that are like the far left people that really are opposed to hunting. You're never going to convince them. But I think there's people out there that they're not against hunting or they're not for hunting, and I think we just need to tell them, here's why we do it. It's the camaraderie, the good work that hunters do. Look, without hunters,
it's experiencing nature.
It's experiencing nature, but there also wouldn't be wildlife. We're the people in the field doing all the conservation projects, spending all of our hard-earned money and our time and our energy. The other people out there that, not buying licenses, not doing all this stuff, they're not doing anything to revitalize wildlife.
Yeah.
And if we don't manage it, we've seen what happened when we don't manage it.
So let me ask you this. If somebody was interested in SCI, they don't have a chapter in the area, how does somebody go about getting involved and starting a chapter in their area?
So there's a couple things you can do. One is my first option, obviously, of if there's a chapter in your area, reach out. Hey, can I become a member? Can I come to your event? Can I get involved? Do you need some help? There's not a chapter out there that would turn them down. I promise you that. It may feel a little cliquey, where you're a little intimidated, but I promise you, if you ask them, they will 100% take you in and give you a job and welcome you with open arms. If there's no chapter in your area, by all means, reach out to us at Safari Club. You can go on the website. You can reach out to me personally. I think Chris will put up my contact info at the end. And I will put you in touch with our chapter service specialists in those areas.
Uh-huh.
And they'll walk you through the process. We'll come out, do a meeting, help you meet people. We'll do a 100-mile list of any members in that general area and see if we can't put something together. There's no commitment until you make a commitment.
And, it's the simple fact is the chapters do support other organizations. I was at an event this past weekend, a fundraising banquet, and there were chapter members from other SCI chapters at the event supporting other organizations.
Absolutely. No, our chapters work together. We're a team, and we 100% support each other, work together. We quite often do projects together. But we also, as you say, other organizations. We've supported Ducks Unlimited, Delta Waterfowl, on various projects where we've partnered. I know the Turkey Foundation. There's a bunch of them that we've worked with on. We do a lot of work with governments, and stuff on various projects and collaborating. We have a team of scientists on staff that we give a lot of advice. We also have a team of attorneys on staff that we can get with government and say, well, you know what, you shouldn't do this for that, or give advice and suggestions. I think that what people need to realize is SCI really is committed to working with the local government, the federal government, on issues that will, using the best available science to make decisions instead of social science.
It's funny. I've done quite a few interviews with different sectors at SCI, and I had no idea. I've been around the industry 15, 16 years, give or take a few. I had no idea how vast the Safari Club International organization actually was. There were so many tentacles attached to this organization, as far as government, education, banquets, and the Nashville event. There's so many things that most people, most hunters have never tapped into.
It is. We have a record book department. We have our own scientific record book journal, which comes with awards and so on and so forth. We've got a publications department. We've got event services, which we have, several events. We're partnered with Texas Trophy Hunters Association. We're partnered with Synergetica. We're partnered with FASA, which is Professional Hunters of South Africa. And I'm probably missing several. But that's just a kind of a couple as an example. Chapters around the world, as you say. And then on our foundation side, we've got a humanitarian section, an education section, a conservation section. So yeah, you're right. We are a mile wide, and we're covering all aspects of hunting, conservation, and wildlife, scientific wildlife conservation. It really is a great organization, and it doesn't matter. You're not animal specific. We're not stuck with elk or mule deer or ducks or anything like that. We're here to protect everything and ensure that hunting is a right and a passage for your future generations to come.
It's all a part of it. It don't matter if it's duck hunting, upland game. It don't matter. Safari Club International is involved with every aspect of our outdoor lifestyle.
No, you're absolutely right. It's I'll tell you what, it's been a heck of a journey for me at 22 years, and to be able to do this, it's humbling. All of our people that are volunteers, we have people that are, been around for 50 years, people that don't need to do this. They have money, they have everything they possibly could need, yet they volunteer their time. Like volunteers giving 40 to 60 hours a week. It really is humbling.
Yes, it is. But there's a very social aspect about being involved with a chapter where, you get to interact with a hell of a lot of like-minded individuals that like to hunt. They can introduce you to other aspects of the sport that you never stepped into. Uh, it's it's great being around people like us that love what we do and introduce us to different areas.
Absolutely. I was in Argentina about 3 weeks ago, and there was a chapter there that was on a hunt. I think there was 8 or 10 people from the chapter, and they were, they all kind of arranged this hunt. They all went down together. So you talk about social aspect of it. What a great way. And there was a couple there that had never been on one of these type of hunts. So they were able to go down with friends, hang out, had a good time. Somebody kind of arranged the dinners. There was no apprehension at that point. So, I think that that's the other benefit of getting involved with the chapter and learning about how we can do this sort of stuff.
And another benefit, so to speak, is you go to these banquets locally, and they're auctioning hunts that you can get at a discounted rate.
Absolutely. Well, there is some
but
great
then
deals.
again, you got to know what you're bidding on.
No, you're right. But there is some fantastic deals to be had. Some very unique things. One of the great things is a lot of the stuff's vetted. These
Yeah.
chapters just pick anybody to come with their deals. So, if you're buying it at an SCI event, traditionally you're getting something that somebody knows. I've hunted with them, they've treated me well, or I've fished with them, or it's an adventure I've been on that they've treated me really well. So that's why we went with these people. So that is one good aspect of going to these events and purchasing things. And not only that, but you're helping to further the missions. I can tell you in Michigan, the dove hunt was saved because the Michigan chapters got together and they put together over $1 million and made it a ballot initiative. Alaska has just done the sustenance and access to land initiative on the ballot. So there's a lot of chapters doing a lot of wonderful things. West Texas chapter has a museum where they bring in people that are visually impaired, education, stuff like that. So they can go in and see these animals and touch them and feel them where they'd never get to do that without this type of experience being available to them.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you're in charge of member services. How do you go about soliciting members or finding members?
So,
I mean, you're not going door to door.
We're not going door to door. So look, we do a lot of things. There's some marketing we do. Obviously, our website, social media. Our chapters are a big part of soliciting members. People come to events. You don't have to be a member to come to the event. And then when we're there, we kind of showing you what we're doing, who we are, what we're about, and then asking you to join us. Also, our convention. To attend our national convention, you must be a member of Safari Club International. It is a members-only event. And one of the reasons we do that is we want you to feel safe.
Yep.
And we want you to feel invited. We don't want to have anti-hunters or anything like that during our convention. You pay good money to be there, and that's one of the reasons we do it. But the reason why we have membership, and maybe that's where we kind of need to tell the listeners, is when I go see a politician, I actually am in Canada, and when I go see a politician, the first thing he asks me is, how many members do you represent? As we know, politicians want to get reelected. That's their goal.
Of course.
And, we come to them with issues and they say, well, okay, how many people do you represent? How much money do you represent? These are very important issues. So the more members we have, the more clout or the more, availability we have. And, you also know that everything we do, everything to do with hunting is a political landmine.
Yeah.
It's always under attack and under threat.
It's funny. I try to keep my magazine non-political, but hunting's a very political topic, whether you want to admit it or not.
Extremely political. And we do a lot of work with politics, unfortunately. We have to, because, we need to make sure the right people are elected, the right people are in-house, when they're listing U.S. Fish and Wildlife, et cetera, that
Sure.
they're doing with the right proper science and not, socially, people will fight to remove it. I'm up in Canada, and we lost the grizzly bear hunt in British Columbia, and it had nothing to do with science. We have a sustainable population, and social got to them, and they were able to change that hunting. And now we have to work twice as hard to bring it back.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm in New York. We finally passed the crossbow. You could hunt by
Right.
crossbow now.
Right. Well, we've dealt with a lot of trophy importation bans
Yeah,
that are proposed in New York and in California and several other places in the United States, and we've managed to defeat them. But again, that all went through all of our advocacy team and the hard work that they're doing, and bringing in our partners, the African nations and stuff, to say, who are you to tell me how to manage my wildlife?
yeah,
Uh, and at the end of the day, we have a strong population of elephants and lions and et cetera, et cetera. So you're being prejudiced by not allowing United States residents to hunt these animals and bring them home.
Well, it's funny because they're not there. They don't know.
Right.
It's like the wolf. You had
Right.
a judge in California say no wolf hunting across the country.
Yeah.
It varies from state to state. You got mobiles in Colorado than you might have in New Mexico. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we need to use the science, best available science. I can tell you right now, if you were to close hunting, it would have a detrimental effect on wildlife populations. And the case in point there is, if you look at Kenya when they closed hunting, and you look at it today, and you look at South Africa is booming with wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Kenya is, decimated. Their herds are decimated. And why is that? Because there's no value on wildlife, and they're farmers, and it's competing with their livelihood, where if you put a value on it, they'll manage it and they'll take care of it, and they'll ensure that they have healthy, thrivable populations. Our model's a little different in North America, the North American model, but I think we have a value on wildlife, but it's a different type of value. It's an
Mm-hmm.
intrinsic value. And I think that, we still know that we have to manage wildlife populations. We've seen what happens when we don't. If we get too many wolves, too much predation, too much overabundance of animals, disease will set in, over foraging will set in, et
Yep.
cetera, et cetera. So, it's our duty as stewards of the land to manage wildlife.
Well, they only follow the science when it's convenient to them.
Of course. Of course. But, we kind of got off topic, and I will tell you that our membership and our chapters and the chapter dollars, everything raised goes towards ensuring that we push legislators to follow the science and not the social pressure. It goes to doing the projects that we talked about, and ensuring that wildlife thrives in our nation. And look at, if we see a decline in populations, we'll support the closure of a hunt, or a fishing or what have you. But we got to be there. We got to be stakeholders. We got to be at the table, and we really need people's support to step up, join Safari Club International for the right reason. We have a lot of great promotions right now. We have a really great outdoor edge knife for a 1 year, and a guide pack for a 3-year membership. They're the ones with the removable blades. And we've had some other fantastic promotions that we offer our members when they join. But I think, barring all of that, we'll come up with all the gimmicks and all the, do it for the right reasons, and it's cheap, $65 for 1 year. It's a box of ammo. It's, go out to McDonald's a couple times.
The bottom line is, you're not joining for a knife or a backpack. You're joining to support our lifestyle.
Yep.
You're joining so your kids or your grandchildren will be able to enjoy the same lifestyle that we enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why you join and get involved with Safari Club International or any number of the other organizations that are out there. We're all fighting for the same thing.
Absolutely. My boss says it probably the best. He says, you know what? If you own a gun, you have to belong to the NRA. Well, if you hunt, you got to belong to Safari Club International. That's it. That's all. There is no other reasons.
Exactly. Exactly. So, in closing, where can we find information about joining Safari Club International and getting involved with a chapter?
Absolutely. So you can do a couple things. One is reach out to us on our website, which is www.safariclub.org, or you can reach out to me directly, J. St. Michael at safariclub.org. And
All
we'll
right.
bring it up at the end of the podcast.
All right. I appreciate your time. Thank you for enlightening us on just another branch of SCI that, a lot of people aren't aware of, and everything that you guys take care of. I mean, the amount of chapters just blows me away. That's truly amazing.
Well, we've been on a kick. We chartered more than 20 new chapters this year, so
Wow.
we're pushing hard to grow. We want to get above 200 chapters, and I think we're well on our way to get there. And you know what? I think the people are starting to see the value in Safari Club International and all of the great things we're starting to do. So I look forward to a giant membership boost after this podcast.
Thanks again, Jason. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you.